What's up guys, my name is Ace, and today we're going to be looking at Phantom's Heightened Senses trait in Infinite Warfare. A ton of people have been asking me, what exactly does Heightened Senses do, because they've been hearing mixed reviews, and they just don't fully understand how it works. So today we're going to be breaking that down. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I've seen a lot of speculation around this trait. Some people are saying that it's like awareness from Black Ops 3, where it just boosts the footstep sounds of enemies. I've also been hearing people claim that it increases the sound of the thruster pack in this game, and neither of those are true. What this does is it plays an audio cue when an enemy is either sprinting or boost jumping within a certain radius to you. This is what the audio cue sounds like. So as you can see, it is quite distinct, and it really helps if you're running dead silence as well, so your footsteps aren't in the way of hearing that. But if you're running dead silence, it's very easy to hear that, and also keep in mind, this is directional. If you have a really good surround sound headset, you'll be able to pinpoint pretty much exactly where that enemy is. If you have even just like a cheap stereo headset, or you even have some good speakers that are spread apart a decent amount and they're just stereo, you should be able to at least tell which direction they're generally in, if they're on the left or the right. And actually, just to show this, if you've got any kind of a stereo headset, or even if you have speakers that are stereo and they're spread apart a little bit, you should be able to tell exactly which side she is on. As long as you didn't have your headphones or your speakers backwards, you should know that the first clip she was on the left side of me, and the second clip she was on the right side of me. Now, even if you don't have a headset and you're just using like TV speakers and you're sitting far back so you can't even tell which is left and right, it's going to at least alert you to an enemy's presence within your immediate vicinity. Also, I should point out that there's just the tiniest, like really faint flash up on the top left corner by your minimap when this happens. So even if you have audio completely off, you'll still get that little bit of a notification, but it's very easy to miss, especially in the heat of the moment. So I wouldn't really rely on this at all, but it is just that little extra visual cue that you get. So it can be a pretty powerful trait as long as you're playing against enemies that tend to be somewhat aggressive. This isn't going to work against people that are camping in corners or just moving really slowly around the map, because this only activates if they're fully sprinting or if they're boost jumping. If they do a normal jump, it won't alert you, and if they just run around the map without actually activating sprint, like they're just doing the normal sort of run, it also won't activate Heightened Senses. Now, I will say, most of the time, in most respawn game modes at least, yes, people are going to be tending to sprint around quite a bit and use their boost jumps a fair amount, so this can be very effective, but in a slower paced game mode like Tactical TDM or Search and Destroy or something along those lines, it's probably not going to do quite as much for you. As for the detection range and also the frequency of the beeps, this depends on the stance that you're in. So when I'm standing up, this is the maximum range that I can detect somebody with Heightened Senses equipped. It looks to be about 10 meters. When I'm crouched, I can go all the way back to approximately 15 meters. And then finally, when I'm prone, that only extends out another like 1 or 2 meters, somewhere around 15 to 17 meters. So as you can see, your stance plays a huge role in the effectiveness of Heightened Senses when it comes to range, but most importantly, it's the frequency of the beeps. I'm going to play a clip here in a second, and when I'm standing up, I get a beep like every 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds or so. When I crouch, that speeds up pretty noticeably, and then when I'm prone, it's extremely fast. Have a listen. So as you can see, if you're crouching or if you're prone, you're going to be able to detect your enemies so much easier when using Heightened Senses. And I'm not too sure what I think about this. This makes this a very camper-friendly trait, and it really encourages people to just sit in corners or lay down in a corner and listen for their enemies to come to them. I'm not a huge fan of how that works. I would be totally fine with it if it was always like when you're standing, like the same range, the same frequency as well. I think that would be fair and balanced when we're looking at other traits in the game, but as it is right now, it's not only extremely powerful, it also encourages people to play in less desirable sort of ways, and it really rewards them for playing in that way. So if you notice that you're being killed by a corner camper or somebody that's laying down, and you can't figure out exactly how they keep knowing exactly where you are, and they happen to be using the Phantom combat rig, This is most likely why they're able to detect your exact location. It could also be portable radar, but the nice thing is, both of these things are completely countered by Cold-Blooded. Now, I know the description for Cold-Blooded doesn't say that it counters heightened senses. In fact, there's actually no perks with a description that says that it counters heightened senses, but I did all the testing on like Dead Silence, Hardwired, Cold-Blooded, Ghost, and Cold-Blooded was the one and only one that would counter heightened senses. So that's going to wrap it up for the breakdown of heightened senses. I'd like to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of this trait? Do you think it's balanced just fine, or do you think it encourages campy play a little bit too much? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.